welcome to yet another episode of the In-Depth series. My name is Pooja Dwivedi. On Women's Day, we need a special attention. We need to focus our special attention to women in STEM because the theme of the Women's Day dictates so. So without any further ado, from the perspective of GS Mains Paper 3rd, it is important that we understand these many topics. And from the perspective of prelims, it's important that you look at the facts. So on 8th March, we observed the International Women's Day, and the theme for this year is Digit All. As you can see, Digit All, that means it's an inclusive word, innovation and technology for gender equality. Okay, so let's now talk about what has the United Nations said. The United Nations has highlighted the need for inclusive technology and digital education so that women are not left behind. It plans to have discussion on the role of all stakeholders in improving access to digital tools. Moving on, what is STEM? The word STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And it was as an acronym introduced in the year 2001 by the scientific administrators at the US National Science Foundation. They used it basically to refer the career fields in those disciplines or a curriculum that integrated knowledge and skills from those fields. Curriculum, now it basically refers to curriculum based on the idea of educating students in 4 specific disciplines: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, in order to ensure that whatever information they are garnering in different categories are interdisciplinary in manner. That means what you have learned in technology should be understandable for engineering as well. For mathematics, it should be in science, and like this only. That means it spills over to the other parts of STEM. Now, India is one of the countries that produce the highest number of scientists and engineers. According to Article 51A of the Indian Constitution, it is the duty of every citizen of India to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. All right. Moving on, globally, if we talk about the gender gap in STEM, in the field of STEM, globally, 18% of girls in higher level education are pursuing STEM studies, and that is comparable with 35% boys. Even within the STEM field, there is a gender divide. That means there is a certain group which is filled with women, and there is a certain group that is filled with boys, but no women representation. So with similar numbers of boys and girls, they are pursuing natural sciences. This is why, if we compare it to, while far more boys looked to engineering, manufacturing, and construction, where we see a lack of women participation. In India, the enrollment of girls in engineering program is significantly lower if we compare them to other counterparts, male counterparts. Overall, in undergraduate, postgraduate, MPhil, and PhD engineering programs, the total enrollment is more than 36 lakh. In which 70% of the enrolled students are boys, 29% are women. Then for all the students enrolled in science courses at undergraduate, PG, MPhil, and PhD levels, women at 53% of enrollment outnumbered men. But this does not promise that employment opportunities will be of similar nature because of different factors. Multiple factors are there. See, the gap generally exists because of two main reasons. First, there could be a lack of resources for women. I might be pursuing STEM, but there might be a lack of resources for me, such as mentors, program which offers scholarship, because generally Indian families do not want to invest in female education. This has been changing. I'm not denying any kind of change, but this has been the general mindset. It's changing now. General societal attitudes on women's education, most of the parents, they want to invest in boys' education but not on women's education. This is the general notion of patriarchy, that if I have to marry my girl to some other family, why invest on her education? For instance, in India, more than 50% of the illustration in math and science textbook in primary show boys. Only 6% show illustrations of girls, which is reinforcing the idea among the small students that only men can, or more men can, pursue maths and science. In UK, over a quarter of girls say they have been put off career in tech because it is too male dominated. Only 22% can name a famous female which are working in the field. That means there is also a lack of role models. Now in the US, 26% of the tech startups have at least one female founder, and in Europe, only 21% of tech founders are female. There is a general clamor, growing clamor for having more role models in this field for women, which is changing now. Now, why does women's underrepresentation in this field matter? See, right now we are seeing a huge growth in IT sector, environment and climate, medical sciences. If women are not represented, that means the half of the labor force of the world will be kept out of any sort of career growth opportunities. Development in STEM fields, particularly in technology, these are increasingly shaping modern life, and modern women should be a part of such developments. Furthermore, from a career perspective, these fields are generally lucrative for workers. That means they are more higher paying. A typical STEM worker earns 2/3 more than the employees who are employed in other fields. And it is a sorrowful fact that there is more representation, over-representation of women in underpaying salaried work and not in STEM fields. So this is the reason why the gender pay gap exists. Then comes initiatives that have been undertaken by the government of India in order to increase the representation of women in science, such as the 𝐕𝐀𝐒 scheme, which was launched by the Department of Science and Technology, and it is intended to create a level playing field in order for giving a chance to those girls who are meritorious in the field of STEM. Then we have �GATI scheme. This is the short form of Gender Advancement for Transforming Institution. It wants to develop a comprehensive charter and framework for assessing gender equality in the STEM field. Then knowledge involvement, research advancement through nurturing is Kiran. It was launched in 2014 and 15. The aim is to provide opportunity for women scientists in moving up the academic and administrative ladder. That means not only academics, but also managing those, executing those kind of academics is also important. And Women Scientist scheme is propounded under Kiran only. So I hope you understood the segment. That's it. Thank you so much for watching.